Hi there, I'm Dr. Hisham Said. This video here is the first part of the first lesson on introducing the project management and construction management in this course, Engineering Economics and Management. So it's intended for civil engineers who are in their junior or senior year at Santa Clara University. So this part here will learn about what is project management and define what's the project management and the knowledge areas within project management in general, compare project management to business management, and also understand the main phases of project development for civil infrastructure projects. And understand the importance of planning and control in achieving the project goals and objectives. So we'll go through these. So project management. Most of you know what is a project management, but this is just a definition from Merriam-Webster. It's an art, an act of directing resources. And the second one here is the use of means. So you have to understand and have a knowledge of what means and methods being applied in this project. And also it's a teamwork. So it's a collective body of people and entities that are working on this project to achieve its goals. PMI, Project Management Institute, is one of the famous entities that certify project managers worldwide. And I see, again, it's about the art. So there's a lot of art into that. Some people call it soft skills. But it is that skill that you acquire by practicing. So, and it has skills also. You can see here modern management techniques. It's not like art only. You have to learn technical methods to schedule, cost estimate, manage resources, analyze operations. And the goal here is to achieve a set of objectives that you set in place before the project so it's clear for everyone. Another organization that also certifies, it's called the Association for Project Management. It's more in the UK, and while PMI is more a US based. And you can see the definition here is more also in line with what we discussed before. So it's a process, a bunch of processes, methods, and skills and knowledge that you apply to achieve objectives, and you look for final deliverables here within the constraints you have. So this chart here is kind of visual of what's the definition of APM of project management. So project management is an area, very wide area, and any technical area will have a project management personnel handling PM aspects of it. So what is a project management? It's an overlap of three things. First, a general management field. So any manager in any field, civil engineering, mechanical, even supply chain, retail, will relate to all of this. These 10 areas as defined by PMI. So you see a lot of it is familiar within our field, civil engineering. So schedule, cost, quality, maybe brisk a little. But there are things that are not really relevant to civil that much. It depends on where you are within the civil engineering practice. But like stakeholders management, this is not for everyone involved in project management. Integration management. So these are some areas that very generic for any project management professional to have basics into it, and the depth of it depends on your field. Now, in your field, you have to have a special knowledge to manage this project. So if you're building a concrete structure, you have to have a knowledge of concrete as a material, mixed design, reinforcement, and equipments are being used, the safety of the people working on it. So this is what we call the technical knowledge or domain. So I cannot bring a project manager working in developing websites to build a concrete structure or the other way. So you have to have this technical knowledge. And then there's supporting disciplines, knowledge of supporting disciplines and areas. So you need to have knowledge of these. It depends on your situation, but like you need to know how to analyze the data available to you, marketing in general. So that's kind of depends from case to case what type of supporting, economics, accounting. So you have to be aware of what other beyond the basic knowledge areas of project management and the technical knowledge of the field. You have to know what else you need to manage the project. Now within civil, project management is more like people call it also construction management. So even if you're not working in the field but managing a project that's having civil engineers involved in, typically it has construction is a big part of it. So CMAA, it's the Construction Management Association of America, is kind of one of the some entities that certify also project professionals in construction. And you can see here similar kind of definition. It's a professional service, construction management, that tries to achieve these goals here: schedule, cost, quality, safety. And within CMAA, they have also their own knowledge areas or domains. You see here there are only 7, not 10 like PMI. And you can relate if you're working where you have construction experience, you can easily relate to these rather than the PMI. PMI is more common in the tech industries, retail, but in construction, we're more into like CMAA and even some other certification and training entities here like Design Build Institute of America, AGC, American Institute of Constructors, and ABC. So every one of these have their own training programs and certifications. So I recommend that you check them in case you want to see how you can advance your knowledge and professional career if you're targeting construction management. One difference also we want to make here is the distinction between project management and business management. Project management is very finite in timeline. Project can extend 3-5 years, maybe even 10 years sometimes, a very extreme case. But business is more continuous. You manage a business so it survives as long as you can. Project is more about deliverables. Business is about performance metrics. So if you're managing a website and subscribers, how many subscribers I have, and your goal is always increase these. Project management is heavily dependent on the technical knowledge of the project, and like we mentioned, concrete. You have to know about mix design and materials and safety. Business management, you can manage any business because business management is based on very common areas, legal issues related to the business, accounting, financing. So it's very common within any business, between businesses. So you don't need that deep technical knowledge in a business to manage it. And the people working on the project management are more in the lower tier within the company, so project managers, project engineers. But business management is more into the upper tier of the management within the company. So CEOs and officers within the organization and project executives. The next concept we want to cover here is the project lifecycle phases. So we're talking here specifically about construction projects, civil infrastructure projects, and you typically start with a planning phase. So you want to see, is this project feasible? And if it is feasible, how roughly it will cost and timeline. So the project owner can decide, yes, let's go ahead. So it's kind of go, no go point after that before you invest into design and engineering phase. So in design and engineering, you bring an architect and engineers, different disciplines to design the project. And then at some point, you might decide to say, let's bring contractors on board, or you can actually wait until the full design is completed and then you bring contractors on board. So procurement and construction is bringing the rest of the team of the project and getting ready to construct and constructing the project. Startup is gonna have different names. So startup, commissioning, running the systems in the building or the facility, making sure they're working per specs and per requirements, and before it's handed over to the owner and the operator of the facility to run it and operate it and maintain it. So that is the last phase of the project. Now, if you look at these phases, they can be overlapped, like we'll see in the next part of this lesson, but they can be in sequential, like we'll see. But the idea here is you can see these two curves here. So one is the ability to influence costs, and the other one is the construction costs. The first one, ability to influence costs, you have 100% ability at the beginning of the project to influence the project outcome and costs, because you did not invest much into that. You could not commit to contracts and people and make any commitments here. The more you go into the process of developing the project, the less ability you have to influence the cost, because now you incur more costs and make commitments. So it's very intuitive concept here, but it's good to understand that, because when we cover now how you organize the project teams, how you bring people on board for a project, at any point you understand how much influence you have in impacting the project and how much commitment to construction costs you already have in place. Now, when you go through these phases of the project, you will have project objectives to satisfy. Again, project management is all about using resources to satisfy project objectives. Traditionally, we had the cost, time, quality. In 1970s, when the OSHA, or Occupational Safety and Health Administration was instituted, I guess, 1970s. People were talking more safety now, on worker safety. And then in early 2000s, now we see sustainability. So we have the LEED certification of projects and professionals. So objectives can grow, and you can. Now we have smart buildings and comfort of people within the building and operational efficiency of the buildings. So objectives should be specified by the owner here. And now how you plan to achieve these objectives is by construction planning here. So you have to have a plan. You cannot just start the project assuming that you achieve the objectives. And while you implement the plan, you have a control in place, effort in place, to make sure you are on track in achieving these objectives. So that's the end of this part of this lesson. So we'll learn about what's generally project management, what is construction management, how project management compares to business management, what are the common phases when you develop a construction or civil infrastructure project, and how planning and control is important for achieving the objectives that are outlined for a project. Thank you for watching. Hope you like this part video, and looking forward to have you in other videos. Thank you.